I couldn't remember where they played. Yeah, Guardians at Fenway. Shut them out yesterday. The show, game tonight, 7:10, 6:35, when we will get you into your pregame coverage. Dave Mathews Band, we mentioned this yesterday, on the last day of fan voting over there for induction into the 2025 class over there at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. No big surprise. It's kind of a fait accompli if you get to the point of last day of fan voting, but Dave Mathews Band ended up on top of the fan vote. But an interesting kind of factoid with the Dave Mathews Band. You know, they've been doing the online poll to make the audience, give the audience the illusion of inclusion in the Rock Hall. They've been doing it about a decade. And every single year, the number one vote getter in the fan vote has been inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, except one time a band didn't get in after getting the number one fan vote, and that was the Dave Mathews Band. 4 years ago, they were nominated for induction in 2020. And I think that might have been their first year ballot. So far, they are the only number one fan vote getter to have not gotten into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. So whether or not that'll change this year, I don't know. But Peter Frampton, Foreigner, Ozzy, Cher, Lenny Kravitz, and Kool and the Gang. This year's top 7 vote getters will comprise a single fan ballot. I thought this is so confusing to me, and maybe I'm the only one being confused by it. I thought that the band that got the most fan votes got an extra ballot for them.
I thought that's what it was, too.
I have no idea how it works.
I don't either. It says this year's top 7 vote getters that I just read you will comprise a single fan ballot added to a pool of more than 1,000 votes. I don't know what the hell that means. Unless that's poorly written, I don't know. All but 6 artists who have made the fan ballot in previous years are now Rock Hall inductees, those 6 who are not in. Dave Mathews, Soundgarden, Cyndi Lauper, Warren Zevon, Fela Kuti, and Iron Maiden, who are still inexplicably not in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. But by the end of this month, we will know who's going into the class of 2024. By the way, Dave Mathews Band here in Cleveland, I will have tickets for you all next week. If you're still carrying a torch for the Dave Mathews Band, they're going to play Blossom on June the 25th. That is a Tuesday night. Oh, a summer eve.
I won't be able to go because I'll be at Ben Folds.
Oh, is that the same night?
Yeah, so dang it.
Where is that,
That's
Jacob's
just too
Pavilion?
much white people music on one night.
That is a lot of white people music.
The conflict. Because I would actually go see Dave Mathews Band just to see them live one time.
Now,
I hear it's a fun experience.
What color Crocs do you think you'll wear?
I'll probably wear these white Reeboks that I'm wearing right now.
All right,
these
sir.
All white Reeboks.
All right, sir.
I remember
some New Balance, maybe. Maybe some Nike Monarch 2s.
Oh, boy.
Oh, those are good. I didn't know anything about Dave Mathews Band. And then in college, I was working at a bar, and we had like a cool bar manager whose daughter was like a bartender there. You know what I mean? She was like younger and hot. And her daughter, and their son were all going to the Dave Mathews Band and concert, and they were talking about how they had to stock up on weed, that they needed to buy a bunch of weed before the Dave Mathews Band concert. And I was like, for what? Like, to listen to this weird, chill music? And they're like, oh, you don't get it. Everyone at Dave Mathews Band concerts are lit. And
yeah, but everyone at every concert now is lit.
Well, I get that now, but this was like maybe 2010.
I see.
And so I didn't realize that was a, like...
Stoner band?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But why, though?
Well, I don't even think of Dave Mathews as a stoner band. They're just like, because they're not even a jam band. They're a very, very musically accomplished band. I mean, their drummer, Carter Beauford, is one of the best guys doing it.
But I don't think
they're not like Fish to me.
They're not like Fish, but they are their own kind of jam band. They are their own kind of... Like, they're not just going to play the song exactly how it sounds on the record. They're going to get up there and go, get into a groove and kind of just see where the night takes them. And one of my favorite videos is there's a video of Dave Mathews dancing on stage, and the caption's just, there's no song that they play where he needs to be dancing like this.
I love that. That's one of my favorite videos.
Usually he
'Cause he's
just
just
stands.
like- True.
Usually he just stands in place and like wobbles a foot or something, you know.
Yeah, in that video, he was going crazy.
But the Dave Mathews Band were also kind of an interesting anomaly in music at the time in the mid 90s because they had built up such a following regionally. They were a band, I think, out of Charlottesville or something. Dave Mathews has an international a background. He's from South Africa, but his dad's British or something like that. But anyway, he and these other guys, I think, went to college in Virginia or they met in Charlottesville or something like that. By the time, like, they didn't really need a record contract. By the time they had gotten signed, they were already a big deal because they had such a regional following. They could tour and make money.
There was a few bands like that in the
Back
early
when you were
90s.
selling mixtapes, Hootie kind of did it that way, too.
Hootie kind of did that way. Who's the Spin Doctors? They did it that way.
Okay. But the Dave Mathews Band, when they got signed to RCA Records, they were kind of like, yeah, we're going to do this because it'd be cool to have, like, you know, worldwide distribution. But we definitely don't need it. But anyway, so the Dave Mathews Band wins that fan vote there over at rockhall.com. And they will be here this summer, June 25th. You hear that hum back there?
Yeah.
God, they're
doing all sorts of stuff over
constant
there.
construction next door on the other side of this wall, and it's just constant rumbling and humming.
I can't hear it.
I was back.
No, I
in-
know you can't, but I mean, we're right here against the wall.
Yeah.
You know?
But I'm saying it's like not coming through.
That's good. I mean,
It's more like we feel it.
yeah,
Vibrations.
yeah. I thought, you know, talking about bands that are in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, I'm not sure why this isn't getting as much attention, but I thought it was kind of cool. You know, Green Day is in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, and Dookie has been added to the Library of Congress. They have this thing called the National Recording Registry, where every year they will take a couple of dozen artists and releases, and they'll put them in. And based on their, the quote is based on their cultural, historical, or aesthetic importance in the nation's recorded sound heritage. It's very hoity-toity. But basically, they'll grab a whole bunch of artists and releases and go, these are going into the Library of Congress. And Dookie is one of the records going in there. I wonder if Green Day in 1990-something, I mean, they were together a few years before
Like
Dookie.
94 is when that came out.
Yeah. Late 80s, early 90s, if Green Day was like, you know, someday, you can never foresee what's going to happen, but say we're going to be not only in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, but in the Library of Congress. So the artists getting all of the attention for this are like ABBA. They put Biggie's Ready to Die in there too, which I thought was cool. But they added 25 additions to the National Recording Registry, and a lot of them are old. Who could forget Clarinet Marmalade from 1919? That's going in there.
Classic.
I don't even know
Classic.
if that's something that I could bring up. I don't know if the Clarinet Marmalade is something that...
You'd know it if you heard it.
I mean, I probably would. That's the one with Christina Aguilera. And, right.
Yeah, clarinet marmalade.
Voulez-vous coucher avec moi ce soir?
Uh-huh.
Lady Marmalade, I believe is what it was called in a previous incarnation. The Clarinet Marmalade from 1919. So that's in the National Registry
Oh,
of
I do
Songs.
recognize this,
Yeah.
actually.
This
Never
was,
knew what it's called.
I think I heard the Skrillex version. I don't know the original. This is Lieutenant James Reese Europe's 369th U.S. Infantry Band. Pretty exciting. So that's in the net. This, to the United States of America, this
is the music that people are like, music's getting out of control.
Yeah, they really were.
Listen to this stuff. It is a little much.
How did Lieutenant James Reese Europe's 369th U.S. Infantry Band come in so low on the fan vote? Is what I don't understand. Rolls right off the tongue. The Kohaven Polka, that's part of it too. But to the United States Library of Congress, this recording is as important as Green Day's Dookie. So
I mean,
imagine
the
that.
cultural influence
Yeah.
is just undeniable.
Yep, the Kohaven Polka, that's another one that's in the Library of Congress. See if I can
For
find that.
having a good time. Is that how that goes?
No, no, it's, there you go. That one from 1928. Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer has been added. That's a song from the late 40s. Tennessee Waltz, the Patty Page version is in there too. So, yeah, there's some songs you've never heard before. There's some real left turns as well. This is
Can
in
you
the
imagine
library.
writing a polka song and then you go to play it for everybody else and they're just like, yeah, we already know this one because
They all
I
kind
mean,
of sound the
yeah.
same, yeah. But to the untrained ear, the accordion and the whole thing. And then this is in the Library of Congress. No, I'm kidding, right? That's not really.
not eligible yet.
ABBA and Biggie, some Perry Como, some Jefferson Airplane. Ain't No Sunshine from Bill Withers. Great song.
Incredible song.
Lily Tomlin's 1971 comedy album, This Is a Recording, is in there. And I was kind of surprised to find out there are 13 comedy albums in the National Registry, and Lily Tomlin is the first woman to be inducted.
That's a surprise?
Well, it shouldn't be, because it's not like there's 100 of them. There were only 12, and of course they go back. It's mostly guys doing comedy back then. It's like Carlin and Pryor and, people you'd never heard of.
Imagine Bob Newhart.
Bob Newhart is in there, yep, and Mort Saul and Tom Lehrer and those old-timey guys. But I don't know, I guess I thought maybe like Mom's Mabley or one of those party records would be in there, so I was kind of surprised that Lily Tomlin was the first one in there. But she is the first woman to be added in the comedy section for the Library of Congress. Ooh, what's this song? Louis Armstrong. I don't know if he's in there. But anyway, Green Day's Dookie. That's the one that jumped out at me with Blondie and ABBA and all that stuff. And Biggie. And Wide Open Spaces by The Chicks. Of course, back then they were the Dixie Chicks. 1998. But that would be, and I assume that these people get some kind of a plaque in the mail that says, hey, welcome to the Library of Congress. Some people will call it the Library of Congress because that's silly. Don't Worry, Be Happy from Bobby McFerrin is in there. And the Cars debut album. Ooh. I got money here. It is $1,000. As promised, we're back on it. Plenty of money to hand out courtesy of the Buzzard Bookie. So I hope you win. Good luck.
This is your chance to bet with the Buzzard Bookie and win $1,000 now. Enter this nationwide keyword at WMMS.com. Money, that's money. Enter it now at WMMS.com.
Hey guys, weighing in on the muscle car thing. Muscle cars of the bygone era are garbage compared to any modern car. Bill's car would walk away from a 67 Camaro in the rain. So would a Honda Civic. So would any modern car. Alan's Ford Fusion would destroy a 1976 Pontiac Firebird. I had one.
I don't know if any of that's true, by the way. That to me sounds like it's
He said in the rain.
Yeah.
Oh, in the rain.
Yeah.
Oh, I
No,
see.
in Lorraine.
It was a little muddy there. In the rain? Oh,
To
okay.
race it only in Lorraine.
Uh-huh.
And it'll win.
Okay. What about in what about in the dirt? In the dust?
That's too much.
So in the rain, I could, in those old movies, they'd be like, hey, want to drag? I could pull up to the light in my 2015 Ford Fusion, and I could be next to a 76 Camaro, and it was raining, and I just peel the F out of there, right? And there'd be a girl way up there waving a huge checkered flag to prove that I had won. Yeah, we got into a muscle car thing yesterday, or the audience did.
Well,
we don't care.
You
but,
brought up a muscle car, and then somebody got mad.
I called your car a muscle car.
Yeah.
And they said, "Ooh, it's a V6.
It is a V6.
But I didn't even know how he knew that.
Because I mentioned it on the show, and people pay attention.
But you could have had a V8.
I was not trying to get balance while I'm walking down the street.
Oh, okay. Well, balance is very important. I walked out here to get my lunch
Remember those old commercials?
earlier today, and there was a guy just yelling into the intersection. And my first inclination is always to stand there. He wasn't yelling at someone. This is someone who was unhoused, and or certainly looked at, and just yelling into the intersection. And my inclination is to stand there and just see how that conversation is going to unfold. The conversation that he's having with no one, unless he has really, really good hearing, and he's actually having a conversation with someone who's much farther away than I can see. That would be amazing. This guy could have been an X-Man for all I know. He might have had some kind of superhuman auditory abilities. that I wasn't hip to. But I'm going to go with the simplest explanation, which that he was just screaming into the intersection. The abyss. Right here on the east side, Bill. East 9th, right here, right? The near east side.
Gotta get it out.
Gotta get it out. I think they're almost ready to open up the sidewalk next door. I think they're getting ready to pave that over.
That is exciting.
That's going to be a banner day.
That's
There's
gonna be a game changer.
construction right next to us. You picked the wrong time to move to New York, Mary. You're going to miss this whole new sidewalk going in.
We got a whole sidewalk now. Take that in your walking city.
I have asked them. I have inquired with the appropriate people here next door. I've asked if I can cut the ribbon. Now, they were quick to tell me that that's not a thing that they do when they open up new apartment buildings. But I said, well, could we make it a thing? Because, and it's my fault, I prematurely purchased the giant scissors. And now I have I know.
We talked about this.
No, you and I talked about when I bought the giant spoon.
I know, and I tried to explain that you don't need to buy giant objects until you're 100% certain that you can use them.
Well, I
mean,
still haven't used the
How
spoon.
many giant checks do you have?
Huh?
How many giant checks do you have? Blank.
Those are comically large fake checks, Mary.
I know what
I'm
they
talking
are.
about a very real metal giant scissors. So I can cut this ribbon.
You can probably
next
use
door.
those as something else, though, like hedge clippers or something.
I don't have a hedge, Bill.
That's
Grow a
fixable.
hedge.
Oh, now I've got a reason to grow a hedge. Hey, that's not a bad idea, actually.
Would you like us to take up like an offering for it? We could start you a hedge fund.
Bill, forget that whole sex thing, okay? That it's just don't you worry about it.
Does it work if I clap for my own jokes?
Does it work? You tell me. Does it work to clap for your own jokes? Does it work?
Try that at the stand later.
I was gonna say, does it work at the stand?
Listen, I'm going bowling tonight, okay?
Hey, everybody, I'm Mary
Santora.
Santora. Give it up for me, and I'll join you. Friggin' Jeb Bush over here.
Please clap.
Is that the name of your hedge?
Yeah! Don't you worry about what I call my hedge. I got a break here. Hey, we're going to chat with Dickie Barrett. He's in town tonight. No longer with the Boss Tones. You know, he only spent 35 years with them. Time to do something new. New band is called The Defiant.